So I'm making another video, and probably should use the format for my phone. It really is about sustainability. Yeah, speaking of sustainability, look at my mustache there, and my facial hair. Third day, I think. I forgot. I stopped counting. I forgot. I just stopped counting. I didn't even like get my mind to thinking if I drank. Actually, 2 days ago, I think I drank. I think I have. I have big cravings today in the morning. I do. It goes up and down. Honestly, yeah, it's the term that was used. I don't want to talk about addiction or substance abuse, but the term was called anti-drug. And I don't know, I stopped saying that. I believed in that, but I don't know. Not that if I would have came up with it would have made sense, or I would have started repeating that. It's just that I don't know. When you're going through it, you really don't want to think about it. Even when you're doing something like, well, I'm gonna say ukulele. That's my laptop. It's not my teeth. The gap is there. It's not that you can't see it. Let's say I walk with a walking stick. I got it off a branch. I fell. Again, I should say, well, I just say sustainability. I mean, I paid this for $20, U.S. good legal tender, if you will, for someone on Facebook Marketplace. Now, that should matter. It could be anywhere. And she just didn't need it anymore. She needed quick bucks. I don't know if she had multiple instruments. She had this for a while. It's still good. And she sold it to me. You could say it's a barter system, but it's really about who cares about the bank system. I mean, I understand, mortgage, you need to pay off a house, this and the other thing, but in the scheme of interest, and anything like that, property rates, I'm not going to go to property rates. It's a system with property rates, property taxes. I get it. You need financial, finances. You need money to sustain you. I mean, that's really the reality of it. But they just say, you make some money, whether it's cash or whatever, it's electronic, whatever, and even you have to live in the realm of paying taxes for your property. They say you own all your rent, even if you rent. Why do you really need the bank? Why do you need the bank, let's say, for to pay off this or a computer or laptop? Let's just say whatever this was, a couple $100 or 100 something, and I could take a loan out or something or pay rates. Why would you do that? Even if it's 0%. It's still it's kind of dangerous. If you don't have the funds to get something, I would just say, don't put out that, oh, I'm gonna pay it off in rates, even if you could. Not that it haunts you, bothers you, creates kind of a stagnancy. But the reality of it, even my walking stick, why would I, go buy one? There's so many branches, people overlook them. Well, and I didn't even send it down or stay in it yet. Or just saying, probably shouldn't go into, well, you gotta buy the sandpaper, stain. Actually, you don't have to. I'm pretty sure there's like a sap of wood you can actually do, and it'll be a stain. But I said I wouldn't, shouldn't, but I will. People throw all sorts of stains, all sorts of paints everywhere. It's to mobilize something. I would say a lot of people do. Not, I don't want to call myself a hoarder. Well, some people would say it. It's practical things that I need. I don't keep things like I guess you count the receipts, which I don't know. I started collecting receipts, but I gotta get rid of it. I don't really care for that stuff. Only things that I really need, and there's so many things that people throw away. You could reuse it to the point where I'm looking at in the forefront of with hope and it's not a realist view. It's like a optimist view. That eventually, it's something like Wall-E would do. And I was experiencing like a Wall-E moment. I'm picking this up, cleaning this up, picking up stones. Even stones, I showed this one. Look at that. It does have like little crystals. It does shine. Not to say reflects, but it's I don't know if it's a quartz, but they're actually beautiful, and they're all over, even New Jersey, everywhere. But that's just one aspect of it. And it takes creativity also. It takes, I'm pretty sure anybody has some kind of skill, manufacturing, producing. We just haven't tapped into it. And even like simple things like a walking. Why would I pay a couple $100? I've seen a couple of good walking sticks, and a place was in Virginia. And it was like over $100, some were 200. But it's like, yeah, I'd rather just do it myself. It's really not, it doesn't take too much skill. You just gotta send it and just paint it. Also, the creativity you could use. And I know a lot of people aren't into walking. Well, there's bicycles. There's so many people. There's people throw a bicycle. You could buy cheap parts. You could make your own bicycle. Why actually buy that one? Well, obviously, I don't even use Walmart as an example. Any kind of store. You know, I get it. If you have the money, it's like, oh, well, that's just a really nice one. I guess, I enjoy it. But, in a bigger sense, when you actually put the time and effort, you can find time and you can actually make your own bicycle. You could interchange parts. You can make it as wheels. You can make it as anything you want. It'll take you time, but it's also the joy of actually doing that, cleaning it up, restoring it. So how would you want to take a loan for a bicycle? It's a couple $1,000 or $1,000. How would you want to do that? So who needs the financial system? It's all around here. It's all around here. And maybe like I'm not gonna go too deep. Like you don't even need to buy this ukulele. You can actually make it, which you could, but just that takes skill to like put it together. People make it out of pallets actually. Also, not in pallets. Why would you even want to buy wood? I mean, wood like to build something. There's so many pallets that's thrown away. Not that people put them aside and other people pick them up for reuse. People just throw them in the dumpster. They're actually very good. People break down houses and there's so much wood and metal, hinges, screws, nuts and bolts, hardware, pretty much any kind of hardware. Even hardware for like vehicles. In other forms like refrigerators actually, or small mini refrigerators, is the same actual bolt or nut or something like that, or screw if you will. And it's like, yeah, it's like $8 or $9. I mean, why would you want to pay that? Well, hey Sparky, why would you want to go to a pet store and buy a cat? There's people that just, and I say throwing people that just, there's abundance of them. Also, yeah, if they, that's a different thing. If they accept you, you accept them. I couldn't ever just say, hey, come here, little kitty, come here. Hey, mind me, squeaky. Here's a kid. They're just cute. I actually want to go now. I'm not. Why would you want to do that? I want to do this. Fuck, I'll delete because I can't do it anymore. I know you're angry. Everything is in abundance, and it coincides with not just Donald Trump, but it does. And I think he had that idea. He's a businessman, but he understands not to waste, save money. Actually, he's actually very good in that. People say it's a savvy businessman, whether taxes, whether materials for his building. I mean, I'm not gonna go to people say it's shady, but I just need to cut corners. Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't overspend on waste on material and products, and it goes to everybody as far as the nation. Yes, Sparky. What is it? You hungry? What is it you calling me? Come here. He doesn't like to be picked up. Only when he has sexual cravings, desires, you know, he's not, he hasn't been neutered, and I would never let anything happen to him. But anyway, even with that, you shouldn't overspend, and you should be resourceful actually, especially when there's abundant resources. Yeah, it touches on Wally actually. Think about it, and Wally is happening right now. We already have monstrous piles of garbage. You would say a lot of things is really I don't really waste, you know. And that movie, the movie animated movie, it's reality. It's reality. They were all heroes. Those little robots they were. I don't call them robots, but Wally and the others. Even the one that cleans all the time. I really like that one. He's just like really like that was a good one too. But I mean, it's a whole industry that we a lot of people could tap into, and it goes with people just overspending, wasting their money actually. And I'm not saying, and I don't know if it's just people like, nah, we don't want to do it because not that we can't, we just don't want to for like I don't know, superficial reason or like a generic reason. That's problematic. Me and those, I mean, not just me and those. A lot of people just I don't know, we won't agree with it. I guess those people are just in their ways. And I understand that. They'll just, that's how they are. There's people that really like plastic. Or they would just living with plastic and they just think it's the greatest thing because it doesn't break when it falls down. But, a little tear or a little burn or even sunlight get damaged and it's gone forever. Think about it. Glass over here, yeah, I already showed it. This was a from container. It did fall on the floor, but I'm using it as an ashtray. This, and I can actually, what I would say, smelt it, put it back together, or melt it and reuse it. You know, it can be put together or regrown or reconstructed. Plastic really can. So that's just another part of it. And even plastic, there's so much plastic. You could actually wash and have actually plastic anything. You know. So that's just what it is. I feel like I just feel like saying that because it's on my mind. And yeah, I'm at a point. I'm just so distraught. It's like I have to start another idea I had, but it's about insulation. Why would you want fiberglass or styrofoam insulation? It's a not only it's a ingrained in pollution. It's really not sustainable. It's cheap, weak, and breaks down. Yeah, I'm at a point maybe I shouldn't build out of woods, but I don't have clay pottery and anything like that. Also, yeah, it took me a lot of gene to figure it out. So I am taking apart wooden panels, not cardboard, pallets, and what people throw away from construction. And I'm gonna build things and stain it from things that people threw out. If I have like $20, $30, maybe I'll buy like a paint and stain. Can't do it right now. It's expensive. It's pricey. Actually, building materials are very expensive. They're very expensive. You know, and it's not just coinciding with COVID. I don't know what happened after COVID, but like the lumber went up really, really high, and then it's supposedly dropped, but not really actually. So it goes with that. Even like right now, yeah, I already said there's rain. I don't have the means. I knew some guy who did it, but all you gotta do is even from the gutters and tubs or buckets, big bins actually, or tubs, collect rainwater. Really what that is. And you could actually clean it up, even with drinking water actually. You know, seems like off-grid, rural kind of thing, but it's sustainability. We can't depend on government to actually do that, especially like the city municipalities that I saw. They're not gonna do anything. They don't care about that. A lot of times, it's their malice. It's not just they lack practice. Some people conform to it, or maybe they don't want to step out. Not they want to be looked down, but they don't have the idea to go against the norm. You know, I pick up garbage whenever I sit sometimes, and I'm collecting. I throw it away, but it's like, yeah, I get an experience. Like, what if people look at me? Look at me like, hey, you, what are you doing there? That's a private property. Or like, that tree needs the plastic. What are you touching it for? Something odd about that. Explain myself. But like, why are you pulling over? It's a green light. All right. You gotta be a little, not just stronger, but it's like, you can't let things like get to you. It is discomfort, but then I'm like, yeah, but like, well, what about that lane over there? I mean, I gotta do something about it. It's like, why should I feel bad about it? It is kind of odd. Not too many people do that. You know? I'm gonna say it's examples like, like a lot of people walk. We don't communicate. I mean, obviously, you're not gonna start a conversation with everybody. No time. But there's a lot of people that just, and it just we've conformed to like, they just saw to be strangers. Really what it is. And it creates a walls, boundaries between us. To the point where like, it is the movie Crash. But it's not just that. Maybe it's not that aggressive, but it gets to the point of aggressiveness. Like we don't even know each other. We didn't know each other, and we don't even like understand each other a lot of times. And also, maybe we even look down on each other. Even like if we don't know each other by first name, it creates this like it is kind of a tension of like a selfishness actually, like me, 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 me. instead of a social or like kind of I mean it, it kind of produces a lot of good in your life if you just relate and talk to people, even if it's out of your comfort. Eventually you break it down. A lot of people just aren't hostile over there. They just ignore you some alone. No one will do anything to it. No one will do anything to it. I never got one person do anything to me. Maybe a snarky response. Like, you shouldn't be joking like down the street. I gotta go somewhere. That's like the worst. So that's just part of it. Yeah, again, I'm going off on a tangent over here. Yeah, it's really the thing, and I think it's on individuals to actually take it upon themselves. Really, what it is. I don't have the funds to actually get a starter, kickstart, anything like that. If I did, I would have done a lot. I would have been an entrepreneur, a lot of natural things. I would inspire other people. I would inspire people to take it upon themselves. Like, you wouldn't work for me hourly. It's another thing I don't like. It produces a lot of negative tension because you look at how many hours you have. The hourly pay. You look at this. Calculate money. It should be based on productivity. It should be much more logical and healthy, actually, for the workforce and the employer. It's actually not just healthy from a financial standpoint for employer. I wouldn't want my employees to be like, even if they did the work uh, uh, productively, I can't really depend on it. I mean, money's money, but it's like, I'd rather uh, hmm, you know, what was the point? Not instruct, but instill or inspire productivity. I mean, see, there's just too crazy. No, I'm just joking around, but there's rewards in productivity, especially like people say per diem. Per diem is one thing, but also some of it, just bonuses on productivity, even being on time, like I said. You know, I just had the idea of like even an employer just say they do have money, it'll be like they would know farm markets, and like from my standpoint, I would inspire people to eat more vegetables. I mean, the creativity it's out there. You would actually sustain from like buying meat products or like going out to eat a lot of times. Maybe not all the time, but it's a start. I mean, there's so much people that have money. I guess a lot of people just are negligent. I'm not saying there should be laws for that, but it'd be nice if just someone started something like that. Plants, vegetables, or fruits. I mean, it's not just a cheapest way to do it. It really is. You wouldn't waste water and sunlight. That's what you need, and land, territory, even up on the roofs. Actually, there's so much roof space that is saved. There's so much. Well, just and not just the sky, actually, but the sky. I mean, if you have like parking lots, not parking lots, the things you could do actually, creativity that could be even on on balconies. Imagine if a municipality, or just say business, let's say build an apartment building. In one area you grow peppers, or one area you grow tomatoes, cucumbers. Well, you have to do it. I guess to live there would be really egregious, like totalitarianism of infrastructure. Yeah, infrastructure. The condominium totalitarian. That's what I would call it. Nice peppers. Go, Dwight. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. What's the water? I kiss an ass. It's even on them. Right. But that would be a good idea, actually. I mean, like I'd say you probably do that for free. But who knows in the future, right? But I just say it would take money off your monthly or lease or rent. Actually, wouldn't have to be a condominium. And I just say grow inside even. I mean, I could go on and on, but even like properties. I just say, well, you donate well, it'll be a business. It's just a way to not just inspire, instill health, reduce costs, and so many benefits of growing plants. Also teach, even like in 40s, how to actually caretake. I mean, you have to put in time, and it reduces a lot of stress. There's a lot of benefits actually. Also, eat healthier. There's just so many things that could be done creatively and from a logical standpoint that relates to the economy in a bigger sense. Really, the video I was trying to produce. But sustainability, that is a form of sustainability. You're growing your own food. I mean, it's like you don't have to, if you grow much more, you don't have to rely on supermarkets. Yeah, so it's just another thing, Speaking of which, I found items for insulation, like I said, and it's natural. So it's hay. So that goes against styrofoam or like fiberglass insulation, you know, really not necessary. Even the foam spray is chemical based, like it can't. I mean, it's obviously not natural. Uh, Excitability to a minimum, just the life and the steps to go about it or towards it. I've shown it before, but there's a log right here. None of the cats that were here actually liked it. Wait, did Chunya ever step on it? No. Sparky did. Actually, Chunya would step on it to get on his chair. They both like his computer chair, but it's too small. It's too small. I mean, even things like this. I just said throw it, but it was outside for so long. Actually, man, outside for so long. I took it. It was in Linden, New Jersey, I believe. I remember a couple years ago. I didn't stain it, but it's inside. It's not getting touched by the water. You know, it's dry in here, and I could actually stain it if I wanted to. But actually, I could make like little steps, for Sparky or any kind of feline, even outside, So nature is a great design actually, and we don't have to abuse it actually. There's things you can make it, carve things. You can make it pipes. But you can make so many. I mean, obviously, so many things. You know, it just takes time. But yeah, that's just just something I think about. Just yeah, it just takes a lot of energy and eat for effort. Ah, speaking of which, last is a three. Now I'm putting in some effort. I got a lot of things to do in my day, and drinking isn't one of them. So I'm off.